New cards, PogChamp. New cards, PogChamp. All right, chat. My throat hurts today, so I'm doing a little bit of what we call in the business, in the streaming business, a little bit of biohacking. I'm gonna have just enough juice in the tank to get through new cards and the Doug collab, but only if these cards are sufficiently normal. If there's anything crazy, anything balls to the wall, I could exceed my limits and explode here on camera. And we're beginning with the Tragedy of Diabels. Sinful Spoils, White Forest, Azamina, and Diabel support. Suda. 1,000 years of Diabel. More Diabel Star! Whoopee! Siberian says, why'd you pick the creator tier? Can I send you a spreadsheet with all the effects A Drive won't allow me to print, but will be contractually obligated to realize your desires? Yes, Siberian. My intention with the creator tier is to print an Alestral that will go down in history as one of the most broken and one of the most fun things to play with. Speaking of broken and fun things to play with, the Nightmare of Elzet. All right, so we have Azamina Elzet of the White Forest. Why is she wearing like a... Look at this fit. What the hell? Is she being like mind controlled or something? I don't really... Okay, you can reveal this card in your hand, special a White Forest or Azamina monster from your hand. During your main phase, you can fusion summon an Azamina fusion. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can add a Sinful Spoils card from your deck to your hand. Next up, we have Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. If you control a Fiend, Illusion, or Spellcaster monster, activate one of these effects. Special summon a Fiend, Illusion, or Spellcaster from your hand. Fusion summon a Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. I didn't know that they were in the forest with the Chimeras. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, activate a monster effect, set this card. And finally, play the Diabel. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. If a spell trap is sent to the graveyard to activate a card effect, send an Illusion or Spellcaster monster from your hand deck or extra deck to the graveyard. That's weird. And then during your main phase, you can banish 3 spell traps from your graveyard, special summon a Diabel from your hand or graveyard. Wait, so... What? I don't understand. It meets its condition when you pay for the cost of something and then you activate it? That's strange. It feels like this should be on a continuous spell. And then finally, oh my god! Ecclesia showed up! Is this actually Ecclesia? What the fuck? Who is this? Different white woman. Like the Diabel. If a spell trap is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, set a spell trap from your hand to the graveyard, but it can't be activated this turn. During your main phase, you can banish 3 spell traps from your graveyard, including this card, to special summon a Diabel from your hand or graveyard. And then Sinful Spoils Awakening. If you control a level 5 or higher illusion monster and your opponent controls 3 more monsters, target up to 3 cards they control, return them to the hand. If you control a level 5 or higher illusion and this card is in the graveyard, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. I have no idea if these cards are good or not. I really do not know if these cards are even remotely good. They support a deck that doesn't exist yet, right? The lore deck. It looks like what they're trying to do is brandidize the Sinful Spoil stuff, and I think it will eventually happen. But I don't know if this stuff is the straw that broke the camel's back on it, because that deck doesn't exist. Some of these have a little bit of application in existing Whitewoods decks, but I don't think so much application that I'm like, Whitewoods was bad, but now it's good. This card in particular looks pretty cool. I don't know. It's a hard one to say for sure. Hello, Joseph. Before you move on, I have a challenge for you. If you guess a card I'm referring to in 3 guesses, I'll give 10 subs in addition to these bits. But if you don't, you gotta give 10 subs. No chat or Googling, of course. There is a single monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! That mentions the phrase, as you wish. Which one? Oh, I should know this. I'm sure that I've talked about the fact that it's the only one that does this before. Rearrange them. It's like rearrange them as you wish. But it's not something like a Turbulence, because Turbulence is too late, and there's a lot of cards that set multiple cards but allow to shuffle back row. It's an old one. It's an old card for sure. I'm thinking of all the like old cards with stupid names that do stupid things. Like the Penguin Knight, Weather Report. As You Wish. As You Wish. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. It's M-Frame, the Alien Link 2. Okay, I never would have gotten that. Is it M-Frame, the Alien Link 2? Distribute counters as you wish. It is a shock trooper. Now, if you thought to yourself, these Diabel cards are okay, but what I really want is even more Diabel cards. I want Diabel cards coming out of my fucking ears. I've got great news. There are more Diabel cards. Let's check them out. Queen of the Azamina. Okay, this is the big bad, right? Do we know anything about she's like evil? Which one is this Ursialaco? I don't know who any of them are. This card is always treated as a sinful spoils card. If this card is sent to the graveyard or banished from your hand or field by an activated card effect, you can special summon this card. Okay, that's crazy already. When your Azamina or White Forest monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can target a sinful spoils, add it to your hand. Oh, that's all she does. Okay, moving on. Snake Eyes Damned Dragon. Okay, this is, wait a minute. They took Flamberge and they made him white. What the fuck? Wow, this guy is a blue, eyes white dragon. Okay, must be either fusion summoned or special summoned by sending 2 face-up monster cards from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard. You can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is special summoned to target a face-up monster on the field, place a face-up in its own spell and trap as a continuous spell. Maybe I am in the wrong on this one. I think this guy is only okay. Like, it's actually really easy to summon him, but, like, why? You know? He's just he's only a man. He's amazing in Crystal Beast, though. Okay, well, great news for Jesse. Saint Azamina. Oh, my God. Whoa. What the hell is going on in this one? Okay, they really are brandedizing this archetype. 1 level 6 or higher fusion monster and 1 level 6 or higher synchro monster. Your opponent cannot target this card, cards they control, and cards in their graveyard at banishment with card effects. Also, they take any battle damage you would have taken instead. If this card was fusion summoned, special summon one level 9 or lower Azamina from your deck or extra deck. Wow, this is a weird card. This is a really strange card. This is a fun super poly target, is the first thing. But also, yeah, so maybe I'm alone in thinking this, but this one seems really strong. Like, obviously, you all are thinking about it in the context of Super Poly, in which case it does seem really strong, but it seems really good on its own anyway. And then, finally, what we're really here for, Goblin Bikers. I love that, like, the storyline for Diabelstar is like Diabelstar and Diabels and Ursia and people are, you know, they're having fun in the forest until they realize the forest has a corruptible hold on their very souls and is transforming them into beasts more monster than man. And then, like, you move the camera 15 inches and they're like, holy shit, is that the badass goblin bikers? Let's go! They're just like in the story. I don't know what they're doing there. Okay, you can target face-up monsters your opponent controls up to the number of goblinos you control. Detach an Xyz and attach those targets to this card as material. Sucks that isn't a quick. During your opponent's turn, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of goblin Xyz monsters you control. Detach 3 Xyz monsters and send those targets to the grave. All right, this card's great. Listen, goblins can make a 6 pretty easily. Their continuous spell that's like searchable over the course of the combo lets you modulate the levels of the cards. And previously, of course, they had to deal with Goblin's Crazy Beast, which is pretty much shit. This one does a lot that's really important for the archetype. Firstly, it gives you the ability to just fire an effect that detaches material for free, right? So one of the problems with Goblin is like, yes, your interaction is layered, but it's layered in a very specific order because like Gabonga has to trigger when something detaches, right? But this one you can just wait around for and you're like, okay, it's Gabonga time. So you activate this, detach everything, then Gabonga effect and take something else. Does require your opponent to set up a little, but that should be fine. Doesn't solve the problem with goblins, which is they can't deal with spell traps to save their fucking life. But it's still a good card. And of course we have to play the video since we're here.
Goblin bikers, gone wild!
Sexual style.
Hey, are you horny? Of course you are, jackass.
Fuck you, Baltimore!
Do you want to fuck a goblin? That's right, fuck a goblin.
Kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, succubus with goblins, in bed with a goblin.
Come on down to Goblin Bikers, gone wild!
Sexual style.
Presented by Diabelzers.
A subsidiary of Viacom.
To get your dick jorked incoherently by magical sex goblins who work for the government.
Somebody is covering up!
I'm speaking directly to you. Yes, you! This is the sign you've been waiting for to fuck an evil, scary goblin. Also, liquidate your assets and move to the woods. Yes, the woods! The Bush administration killed a mythical giant in Afghanistan.
Somebody is covering up!
Come on down to Goblin Bikers, gone wild!
Sexual style.
To get big head from Gabonga. We also do COVID vaccinations. Paid for by people for Kamala Harris.
I don't know. I mean, I've been kind of lukewarm on the Harris presidency, but that might be the decider for me. And finally, we have Azamina Unleashing. This card is always treated as a white forest. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. Target cards on the field up to the number of fusion and synchros you control and have in your graveyard return to the hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard, activate a monster effect. You can set this card. Finally, a trap card that fucking does something. Finally, a trap card that fucking does something. Ugh. It seems okay. All right, my brain is already melting from the fucking Azamina stuff. Let's go somewhere that I know. I'm talking about Orcust! Woo! Okay. I'm so happy we're getting new Orcusts. Orcust has been so unfortunately cucked by the passage of time. They gave them everything back and it wasn't sufficient. Why? Because they printed these cards called Bestials, and there's all these cards now called Ash Blossom and Fualas. There's just nothing you can do. But finally, with this new support, we finally can search the field spell. All right. So, Orfagel. Remember when we were calling them Orfagels? Orcust Galatea I. Okay, so what's going on here? Well, remember that Galatea, the Orcust automaton, is the reconstructed body housing Eve's soul. And also Lee's soul by accident, because the two were basically inseparable at that point. But then, you know, they got Ebe out of there. and they realized that the machine they had made also had a soul and was just like chilling. So this is, I love the art. Look, she's like kind of empty. That's so fucking cool. This is the automaton, the actual factual automaton that was created. Now, I actually think this person doesn't exist in canon, right? Because the world in which Galatea was created was erased and reconstructed by Avita, Rebuilder of Worlds. But it's fun to think about doomed timeline automaton hanging out. You can only link summon Galatea, the Orcust automaton, once per turn. She got out? How'd they get out? Cannot be used as material for an Xyz summon. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. You can send a card from your hand to the graveyard to add a World Legacy monster or Orchestrated Babel from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Holy fuck! Okay, that's crazy, right? And then if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish another Orcust from your graveyard, special this card. Holy moly! All right, importantly, that's going to be a quick because of Orchestrated Babel. I love the link that searches the field spell. This also resolves the Farfa dilemma, where you normal summon Scherzo Skeleton, and then you whiff all your dangers or whatever. It's it looks pretty good. I gotta say, really promising new piece of support. It is functionally a custom card. It's named Galatea as an artificial intelligence, and I is love in Japanese, and I also just sounds like I. Okay. This is like the 12th time Yu-Gi-Oh! Has made that pun. Next up, we have Jack Knights. Oh, God, remember when we were calling them the Jack Knights? Enlilgirsu, the Orcust Mech Knight. Hey, they let Ningirsu into the Mech Knights. Oh, my God, he's the new purple. Wait, what happened to purple? Is he safe? Is he all right? Please tell me purple is alive. Purple died. Didn't most of them die? I think they're all dead, right? Every single one is dead. Purple became the Mech Knight Link 3. Wait, he's the only one that lived. The only one left is Blue. Blue is very dead. Blue is Avram. Okay, you can target one of your banished Orcust and World Legacy cards, add it to your hand, then shuffle a card from your hand into the deck to take control of a face-up monster your opponent controls. If this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there from the extra monsters on this turn, you can banish it, send a card on the field to the graveyard. Okay. This is crazy, right? This is unbelievable. So that effect is not quick, but it becomes quick if you have Babel on your side of the field. One of the frustrating parts about Orcust is that they don't have a good 4 to go into. Orcustrion was their 4, and it sucks PP balls, but saw a smattering of play just because they needed a 4. This is a 4 that is a Snatch Steal and a Dingirsu in a deck that was previously meta because of Dingirsu. Holy! I like it a lot. I'm not going to lie. I think this is damn good. I think it is beautiful. The problem I'm seeing is that the way that Orcust is built now, obviously you can't make this guy with Rusty Bardish. So you do kind of have to like rethink what you're doing in the deck. But that's fine, because I would love to rethink what I'm doing in that deck. Because at present what I'm doing is losing to Bestials all the time. Rusty plus new Galatea. They don't know, chat. They don't know the terrible text. The horrible thing that happens when you summon Rusty Bardish. Yeah. What's this last word? Cannot be used as link material. Fuck you. Actually, really for the best, because otherwise this would have been Apollosa's #1 friend. Moving on. Gem Knights. New Gem Knights. Okay, so it's clear that Konami wants us to play Gem Knights. They got legacy support in POT. They keep trickling out support. The problem is there is only one way to play Gem Knight, and it's an FTK. They tried to make it so that you play the OTK. People elected not to. It's just like the play style doesn't work. You're either doing infinite damage to your opponent on turn 1, which sucks for both players, or you're OTKing, which sucks for you because you're losing, because there's only one deck that OTKs, and it's Tenpai. All right. Gem Knight Master Diamond 2. Diamond Harder. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. During the main phase, quick effect. Send this card to the graveyard. Summon up to 3 non-rock gem monsters with different names from your extra deck or graveyard. Also, you can't special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except fusion monsters. That means you're going to want to get your Phantom Quartz out earlier. What do you get? What the hell? Non-rock gem monsters? What's a non-rock gem monster? The ones below it. Oh, okay, I see. When your Gem Knight Fusion monster is destroyed by battle while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. Oh, these ones. Gem Knight Nephrim. Oh my god, it's Construct! Oh no. Is this Construct before she got taken over? Or is it freed Construct? We're going to have to find out. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add a Gem Knight card from your deck to your hand, except Nephrim. Any effect damage your opponent takes during the main phase for the rest of the turn is half. Oh my god. That's how they're resolving this? They're doing the Dual Links burn solution. During your main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves normal summon a gem monster, and if this card is sent from your hand or deck to the graveyard, send a card from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card. Stupid. You will not FTK. Gem Knight Void Roots. Who is this? This is a Dark Fiend. You can send a Gem Knight Normal or a Gem Knight Fusion from your deck to the graveyard. I'm listening. Special summon this card from your hand in defense position. While your opponent activates a card or effect and you control a Gem Knight Fusion monster, banish 3 Gem Knights and... What the fuck? This is circular. It's a negate? This is circular. Okay, hold up. Now, lock in. Okay, wait, these are good cards. I didn't realize that we were going to give them good cards this time. It's circular plus diameter. Well, it's kind of circular and kind of diameter, which is why it's allowed to be that. So sending Gem Knight Fusion from your deck to the graveyard, might as well send it to your hand. That's nice. And then it's a negate, and it's a level 7? I don't know. That's nice. You have to be mid-combo. That's true. Like, it isn't going to deal with, like, you know, imperm your Phantom Quartz. But it's going to deal with everything after that. Gem Knight Dispersion. Fusion summon a Gem Knight using monsters from your hand or field as material. If you have Gem Knight... Holy! If you have Gem Knight Fusion in your graveyard, you can also use up to 2 non-rock Gem Knights from your deck or extra deck. Are you fucking with me? Wow, so even in hands where you don't draw this guy, you can send him for the dispersion, and then the negate is online as soon as the monster comes down? Is that... Are you kidding me? Garnet is back, baby. The Garnet is Gem Knight Fusion. You're very happy to see that card. Add a gem monster from your deck or banishment to your hand. Also, they're halved. Okay, whatever. Wow. These cards are great. And what's going on in the pack art? New Necroses! Holy shit! Sorry, Gem Knights, to steal your thunder, but is that new Necroses? We finally might get the Necros Trap. Oh, I'm excited about this. Okay, next up. Primite. Okay, new Primite monster. You know, right now they have 1 monster. Primite, another Burial. Stupid. If this card is normal summoned, you can set a Primite spell trap from your deck. You can tribute this card to send a normal monster from your deck to the graveyard. During your standby phase, if you have a normal monster on your field or in your graveyard, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. And Primite Resounding Reaction. If your opponent would normally special summon a monster and you control a normal monster and or a level 5 or higher Primate monster, negate the summon, and if you do, banish that monster. During your standby phase, if you control a Primate monster, you can set this card from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. Cool cards. Cool cards. I mean, the thing with the problem with Primite has everything to do with the fact that right now there's just not enough cards to sustain an archetype. It's like something you can play in other decks that coincidentally use normal monsters. But like, I mean, this is damn good. This is a great card. What does Primite even do? This week's TMT. Next week's TMT. This week's TMT is Snake Eyes Azamina, obviously. And finally, armor up your... I just know Peeps is going to be so annoying about this card. Metal Flame Swordsman and Metal Ka Flame Coating. Okay, so important to note about these. Metal Flame Swordsman is supposed to be the metallized version of Flame Swordsman that you get off of Enhanced Metalmorph. What is Enhanced Metalmorph actually called, by the way? Is it Max Metalmorph now? What do we call it? It's Max Metalmorph? Okay. But importantly, the second one is a Metalmorph Trap, which, you know, all these cards search a Metalmorph Trap or Metalmorph, but there's only one good one. So now we have a second one that might be good. Tribute to face a monster that mentions Max Metalmorph. Special summon a monster from your deck that cannot be normal summoned or set and mentions Max Metalmorph, ignoring its summoning conditions. Then equip this. It says if it would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. That's cool. Because at present, you go into a Max Metalmorph monster, then you use it, then it just sits there. But now, if you have another way to search a Metalmorph, you can do it again into the other one. That's nice. Let's read the monster. Can it be normal summoned or set? Must be first special summoned with Max Metalmorph that was activated by tributing a level 5 or higher warrior monster. You can reveal this card in your hand, add a card that mentions Max Metalmorph from your deck to your hand, except for Swordsman, and if you do, shuffle this card into the deck. Each time your opponent activates a card or effect, this card gains 300 attack, and if it does, inflict 500 damage to them. This is a vanilla. This is a vanilla. That's crazy, right? Does nothing. I mean, the search is good, but this could be like a fucking spell card, and it would be the same card. Just what Max needed. A way to search the trap. Exactly, right? No, you can add anything here, including a card that mentions it, but you don't need that, right? I don't know. Joshua raid. Yippee! Hey, Josh. Thanks for the raid. I really appreciate it. We're actually just wrapping up New Cards Pog Champ. This is the last one we're looking at, and I'm pretty disappointed. I'm going to be honest. All right, here's a new thing I'm going to do for New Cards PogChamp, and it's great that the Schmitchens are here for this because it will save them a bunch of time. I'm just going to recap everything really quick. All right. The new Diabel's cards and the new Snake Eyes cards. Incomprehensible. They support a deck that does not yet exist that looks like branded, but it's about the Diabel storyline. I cannot tell if they're good or not, but there sure is a lot of effect text on them. The Goblin card is good in Goblin Biker, but doesn't solve the general problem of Goblin Biker, which is that it can't beat spell traps. The new Orcust cards, Peak. They're really good. They gave them a boss that is both Snatch Steal and Dingirsu on its own in a deck that already natively plays Dingirsu. These cards are really cool. Orcust is not particularly close to playable because of a whole bunch of things. It loses to a significant number of hand traps and Bestials, but I'll be damned if I'm not going to try these in the wake of the release of them. The new Gem Knights, they gave them Circular. They're just giving people Circular now. Very promising. The new Primite, also very promising, But of course, Primite's utility can only be measured in the decks that already use normal monsters where it is going to be splashed. And finally, this card sucks. Thank you. Oh, you're right. We haven't yet done the shark. I almost forgot about the shark. It's a shark. Finally, a shark. This is just what shark needs. If a water Xyz monster is on the field, you can special summon this card. If summoned this way, you can't special itself for the rest of the turn. During your main phase, you can send a shark and an Xyz spell trap from your deck to the graveyard. Banish this card from your graveyard. Add an Aqua Jet from your deck or graveyard to your hand. No, you don't understand. This shark that special summons itself is going to make a difference. Oh shit, we almost forgot about these. Did we do these last time? No. Oh, hell yeah. All right, so I was a little disappointed with the most recent Atlantean Mermail stuff. I think the deck is rogue playable, but I don't think it's, like, good. I think it got, like, a couple of bubbles at the most recent YCS. I hope that it tops. But it does need, like, just a couple more guys. And what do you know? The new set is going to come with a couple more guys. All right, we have Poseidra, the Rumbling Atlantean. Holy shit. They made him an Atlantean after all these years. You can send one other water monster from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard. Special this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send an Atlantean or Mermail from your deck to the graveyard. Then target a card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. And if you have Big Poseidra, or wait. If you have another monster, they can't attack this one. This card sucks. Damn it, I wanted this card to be good, but it's not very good. Just like Poseidra, it kind of requires your opponent to have stuff already for it to do anything relevant. This send another water from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard as special is going to be what it does like 90% of the time. So, like, at present, it's just, like, bad Abystius on the play, and it's good on the draw, but, like, all of the Poseidra cards are good on the draw. Maybe you would, you could play it, like, I could see it seeing play, but no. Abyss Right is also some sort of god now. I hope this doesn't replace Abyss Gaios because I like him. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can target a level 7 or lower fish, sea serpent, or aqua, special summon it. Crazy. Water monsters you control gain 300 attack and defense for each material attached to this card, and you can detach a material from this card, set an Abyss Trap from your deck. This card's unbelievable. Wow. This does so much. So the new Poseidra guy kind of needs a dude to rank up onto so you can get his soul charge effect turn 1. This is a guy that doesn't interrupt your opponent but immediately cashes in for value and gets you a material back, which means that your Poseidra, which floats into 3, now ends with 4 guys plus the guy you made off Poseidra. Holy moly! Like, oh man. This card's really good. And then finally, Abyss Team. Wait, it's the Abyss Team. Oh, hell yeah. This is what every old card looked like, by the way. It's the Mermails, the Atlanteans, and what the hell? Why is Neptabyss there? That should have been a Poseidra. Draw cards equal to the number of different types among fish, sea serpent, and aqua monsters you control. No specials except water. And then if a face-up water is destroyed by battle, banish this card to add a Mermail from your graveyard or banishment to your hand. Do they have an Icarus attack? Just give them an Icarus attack for this card. We don't need this. That's cute. Take the token back. That's adorable. Okay. I mean, that's just the same thing Orcust has been doing forever. Golden Rule, man. I can't believe Golden Rule exists. Okay. 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 Okay, so you understand that that sucks, right? It is funny, though. And then what else do we have? All right, looks good. This isn't anything. This has nothing to do with the new cards. Oh, wait, yes it does. I'm in! Finally, Runic Earthbound Prisoner, playable!